him out of there is a Rule 35 and a 5K1.
Or if you just beat your shit on appeal or something like that.
Now you say Rule 35, 5K1. Can y'all break down? Let's start with the 5K1.
A 5K1 is a federal term of, you got two. You got a 5K1 and you got a Rule 35. A 5K1 is when you first go in the system and you tell. Like niggas that's debriefing or something like that, or they done popped you and they sit you in the interrogation room. That's a 5K1. A Rule 35 is when you actually get in prison and then say somebody do some third party shit for you or something like that. You do some rat shit like that. You got a girl knock a nigga off or something like that. That's a Rule 35. A Rule 35 is never before the 5K1. Like, whenever you first get sentenced, there's no such thing as a Rule 35 right there. That's a 5K1.
Gotcha.
Then when you go to prison and you do some more shit or put in work, or you done been in there 5 years and then you tell on somebody or something, that's where the Rule 35 comes in.
Nah, we all know the 5K1. You can find out if somebody has a 5K1 letter. Now,
you can find that out. Because they basically tell them right then, meaning I got knocked off the night and I'm sitting there in the debriefing room and I'm telling them what's going on. Yeah, I've been getting a couple of bricks from Red.
When you get sentenced, that's the 5K1 phase.
Yeah, because I already said enough evidence for them to go pick up Red too. They probably gonna go pick him up after my statement, out anybody's statement. Then then that person gonna get the Rule 35 for them knocking Red off.
Correct.
Now not the Rule 35 K1. The Rule 35 is meaning they get somebody, they going in the brief and they put out a whole bunch of pictures and say, well, do you know this guy right here? Yeah, I know him. That's Mark. You know this guy over here? Yeah, that's John. And we know these guys are heavy players. What you know about him? Oh yeah, John. I know he sell drugs. I know he do that. In the future, if we ever knock him off, will you be willing to come back and testify against him? You get your Rule 35.
nah, it's the Rule 35. Can anybody find out if you're under a Rule 35?
Well, you gonna know. You know how you gonna know?
How?
You gonna see a nigga leaving off the road going back to testify. What we call it going to murder a nigga.
Yeah.
That's what we call it the feds.
See, like this here, what you see,
go smash and
do what you see in the feds, right? Sometimes you see so-called solid niggas that supposed to be solid and they walk around in the USPs and they'll just disappear. Like they'll just come get them and take them to court. And when they disappear like that, then quite naturally we hear through the grapevine that the nigga done went back to the county jail to smash a nigga. But a lot of these niggas, you've been walking around for years thinking they solid. And niggas done turned like that. You got to think is that a lot of these niggas that when they dangle that carrot in front of their face and like, look, you done been in 20 years or 15 years. The only thing you got to do is just say he did this. It take a hell of a man. It take a hell of a man, bro, if you knowing you going to die in prison and all you got to do is just say this right here, even if they make it up. Because sometimes the Fed been known to get actors. And what I mean actors is they'll get a motherfucker in a suit that you never seen a day in your life and come to your federal trial and swear on the Holy Bible that for the past year you done sold him 20 keys.
Yeah,
two here. You ain't never seen this motherfucker. I'm talking about he acting. I'm talking about he's telling a story about you. Yeah, I've been knowing him. I met him. We even went out to dinner before. They're gonna coach him on you. They're gonna tell him everything about you. This is what the federal government do. They're gonna tell him everything about you to what he know you. So when they questioning him, he gonna be popping that shit off, bro.
Yeah,
they play a dirty game, bro.
They do that.
Nobody you even know. This might be just an actor, literally an actor from Hollywood, nigga.
They use that technique against them drug boys heavy. There's a lot of guys right there in federal prison that's locked up behind hearsay.
Yes.
Meaning just, they called a case. There was some niggas heard about the case. They started making phone calls. They said, well, guess what? We're going to fly you down. Come on, testify, get on the stand. And them guys to get out. I know for sure I was up there at Estelle. One of the homies came down from Tampa. I didn't know him from the streets. Didn't know him at all. But he knew me, or knew of me. And one of the homies was like, hey, man, you got a homie here from Tampa and shit like that. I was like, yeah. So I'm skeptical, because I don't know him. He ain't come up in my era. So I ain't really trying to get too close to him. I played a little game of chess with him and kind of talked to him, but I could tell he wasn't trying to. Like, if I'd have seen you, oh, man, that Dirty Red. You know, boom, 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 I would have chopped it up, bro. This dude here had a little different feel about it. He probably was on the compound maybe like 6 months. Then all of a sudden, you know, he disappeared. Now, I knew he had 15 years because he told me what he had, but he disappeared. Now, when I get out, I find out what happened. He came back and testified on somebody. and got from up under them 15 years. Gave the other guy a life sentence. That's why we say he going to murder a nigga or he going to smash a nigga. That's why we use that terminology in the feds. So if a nigga leave the compound, oh yeah, man, he finna go back and smash a nigga, my nigga.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He went back and got a nigga life sentence.
So he went from 15
to free.
15 to free. And the other nigga, life.
Life. Right now at USP Polo.
Wow, that's
And
crazy.
he ain't got caught with no dope. The nigga who got life ain't get caught with no dope.
Look,
The nigga
I
who
was
had
up
the
the
15
road.
got caught with a brick.
I was up the road with the nigga at Coleman that testified on Blood Raw. First of all, he pled out to a life sentence. When he pled out to the life sentence, he pled out to, I'm going to plead to life, but I'm going to tell on Blood Raw. And Blood Raw beat the case and the nigga end up in the Fed with the life sentence still. Blood Raw beat the case. He played the life. All right, man, y'all got me, man. I'm going to go ahead and plead. And I don't even know Blood Raw never talked to him and nothing, but I was at Coleman with the hot-ass nigga that told on him. And like nigga was kind of protecting him there. Coleman just keep it real. He stayed there for a little while, but they end up beating his ass and stabbing him or something. And he ended up going up the road and he went from USP to USP with that knife in him, man.
So I was going to ask you about that. I did another interview with a homie out from California, and he said that USP Terry Hood, basically, if you walk, if they seen you there, you no good.
I think USP Terry Hood at one time. Back
They had the
in
death penalty, ain't it?
Yeah, they was rocking there at one time, but you've noticed when you hear about pens these days, you don't hear nothing about Terry Hood. That's kind of like an old man.
Yeah, that's like
spot.
an old story. I used to hear niggas talking about Terry Hood.
Yeah, back in the days, now they was rocking.
Cans on the door
Yeah, they was
and
going
shit.
hard. But when the last time you heard about a killing or a stabbing in the USP Terry Hood? Like, that ain't going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't one of the hardest pens right there.
Yeah, I guess that's the whole point he was making. If you no good, that's what they send you to.
Yeah, it's like a dropout yard.
It's a dropout yard.
It's a dropout yard. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard old stories.
That's the confirmation I want. So Ready Red confirmed it, man. USP Terry Hood is a dropout yard. So explain to us what is a dropout.
A dropout yard is if you're a rat, if you're a chomo means child molester / homosexual. They call them chomos. That's the term that's in the federal system. So if you hear a motherfucker say, man, that motherfucker chomo, child molester, homosexual. So if you a dropout, if you a chomo, and dropouts really don't necessarily, let me go on straight something. Dropouts really don't necessarily mean that they pussy. That just mean that they might want to get out the gang life. Because you meet a lot of solid motherfuckers that's in the dropout. That don't mean, all right, man, he dropped out and he can't go nowhere, but that don't make that man no pussy. That man probably got kids and family, this and that, man. I'm 40, 50 years old. I'm tired of banging, so they drop out. But then you got snitches, dropouts, and chomos. Those are the ones at the dropout spots.
Yeah.
And check-ins. You know, check-ins is a motherfucker that really can't be nowhere, and they at a check-in spot. Meaning that this way anywhere where it's dropouts and chomos and check-ins and stuff, there's no politics there. There's no meetings, there's no shot callers, nothing that is going on. Everybody's just a free fall.
Now, is it possible for somebody with a snitch jacket to actually walk the main line?
Man, listen, man, I tell dudes all this time, right? I think Big Sandy hold 1,500 people, right? I was there for 2 years, almost 3 years. There is nobody walking around at USP Big Sandy and they know that you're a rat. I'm going to say it again. There is nobody walking around. I don't care if you're a Christian. You can be a white boy and be a stone cold Christian. You can be a Jew. You can be a Christian. You can be a Jamaican. You can be a black, white, Spanish, Puerto Rican, blood, Crip, anything. You is not walking around Big Sandy and they know it. Like at other spots, you might hear something about somebody. Like little rumors. Like, man, I heard dude was fucked up. That ain't going on over there, bro.
Yeah, you'll find them at the mediums, the lows.
Yeah,
and
that is not going on there. There is not like, and I'm not saying that it ain't no fucked up motherfucker out of the whole 1,400. I'm saying that they don't know it. You're not walking around there and they know that shit. That's not gonna happen.